What's up, guys? Well, I drug home some more garbage. Well, we have what looks like a junk bullnose bed. And it is. It's pretty much trashed. But what I need it for is this bed floor, which is actually in fairly good shape, even though it's bright red. Probably gonna have to change that, but that's gonna be the new bed floor for the 66. I'll have a steel bed floor back in it finally. So I need to work on getting this thing off and or disassembled. Here we go. And who says lowered trucks can't haul anything? Drove about 30 minutes to pick this up and drove 30 minutes home, no problem. And it rode amazing. So I figured while this thing's still chest height, I would start kind of cutting it apart. And so cutting it apart, but found some little friends down here in the corner. I'm gonna water displacement 40 them. There you go, guys. Have fun with that. Whew. Well, that's one side off. And you might be asking yourself, Caleb, why didn't you use power tools? Well, normally I would, but my daughter's sleeping right now, about 15 feet away on the other side of a window. You don't want to wake the princess up, so hand tools it is. Well, as you saw in those clips, I got the bed sides cut off here. Turned the truck around, backed it in the garage, and of course, now it's starting to rain. But I'm gonna try and get this trimmed down a little more, because as of right now, I can't pull the truck in the rest of the way. And I really don't want it sitting in the rain very long, so. Great. Oh man, all right. Now both sides are cut. It is all free. The floor is. Still have a bunch of bracing I gotta take out, but it's getting a little late to be cutting and grinding. Did I mention the sweet red painted underside? That's top notch right there. Might as well just call this a SEMA build. All right, let me get this truck drug out of here, and then I gotta flip this over. See if I can't get it in the back of the truck so I can back the truck in. Now you guys can see why I had to get this trimmed down before I could back the truck in here. It's I got some tight spaces here. I needed more storage, so I built a platform above the back of the truck. And yeah, my toolbox is backed right up to it. And it's tight on that side too. So All right, guys, so it's a few days later, and as you can see, I got the truck pulled out, and I'm going to continue trimming this down to fit into the truck a little better. Got the original wheel tubs right there. I got those sitting back there. I'm gonna probably end up using those. Either way, the tubs on the bed floor aren't gonna work, or I'm gonna have to move them. So, got it pulled back out and start cutting on this thing. My plan is the floor has this line that goes all the way around. I'm gonna use that pretty much as my straight edge, and kind of trim it down close to that so everything's even. Like I said, probably cut these tubs out so I can use these. And I still don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I wanna leave it a completely flat floor, which is gonna have it much higher, or if I want to put a little step in it where the rear axle and rear frame steps up over the axle, which is more work, but it gives me more depth. I haven't decided yet. Once I get it trimmed out enough to where it'll actually start dropping down in, I think that's when I'll start kind of seeing what I want to do. It'll give me an idea of what depth I'm looking at, so get cutting. All right, well, that was definitely a pain to get that in there, but it's in there. I don't know if it's coming back out. So I'm kind of digging just the flat floor without the step in it. This truck's always had it's always had like a hole right in the middle where like the pig of the axle came through, because my old bed floor, you can see, was right here. So it is significantly higher. The truck is also significantly lower than it was, and obviously the frame is completely different. So yes, I do lose depth, but I still have, what do we got here? About 8.5 inches, give or take, and it is resting. I don't know if you'll be able to see in here. Yeah, so you can see that cross member is currently resting on the fuel tank. So that will need to be addressed. I can probably just take that cross member out, which will allow it to come down a little bit, but I really can't come down a whole lot because the floor is almost touching that area where the airbags are, that cross member that goes across the frame. And it's also, we're currently sitting on the shock mounts on both sides. That's easy enough to clearance. But yeah, so currently that's where it's sitting, and I think it looks pretty even. Now I'm trying to decide, do I just kind of hold these and tuck them under here, or it looks fairly close to this break right here, this level. So if I can actually just straighten these out and send them straight over to this edge here and weld it along there, I think that would look pretty good too. And that way I retain all of this area. Not that it's really useful, but you know, just, I don't know, I kind of like that idea. And then I got to figure out wheel tubs, and I think yeah, I do need to come forward a little bit, but for a first fit, that's pretty good. Goodness gracious. That was about as fun as 2020. All right, so that cross member is now cut out of there. Should give me some more room on top of the gas tank. Yeah, I guess let's set this thing back down. Man, why is it gonna be so hot? All right, so it's definitely sitting down lower. It's like sitting perfectly with these shocks because I cut across this seam or down this seam when I took those wheel tubs out, which is the same exact width as the Crown Vic shocks, which is kind of working out perfect. And let me see if you guys can see in here. Yeah, kind of. If I don't move, yeah, you can see that it looks like it's sitting down on that tank now. Obviously, I'll need to bring it up some, but that dropped it a good couple inches. I think at least 1.5 inches. So that's probably where it's going to end up sitting. Which, it's not all that bad. Really tacked in a couple spots across the front, tacked in the back, and then work my way up the sides, and then wheel tubs will be last. All right, so I went ahead and did some measuring. What I did is I threw this board across here. It's straight enough. And I measured from the board to the bed. After, you can see how I've got this kind of jerry-rigged up with some eye bolts and a ratchet strap. So I picked the bed floor up off of the gas tank by like 3/4 of an inch. Laid that board across there and measured to see what the distance is from the top of the bed rail to the bed floor. And it's like 8 3/4. So that is my measurement for the bed floor. So what I've done is I've marked each side back here at 8 3/4 from the top of the bed rail, and then also marked in the center up there down 8 3/4 from the top of the bed rail. So that will get my bed floor parallel with the top of the bed rail. So now it's just a matter of, you know, I gotta cut some pieces to fill in here. Probably get each of get the back on the front tacked in. And then start just kind of working my way around. I gotta build some supports to go from the bed floor to the this original 1.25 inch tubing that runs kind of throughout the bed underneath to just kind of better support this. Because if I just weld the sides, it's still gonna want a bow in the middle. So yeah, now it's just a boatload of welding. All right, guys, as you can see, the bed floor is in. I took that front strap out, doesn't need it anymore. I am leaving this middle one in here because, you know, if I let it loose, the center of the bed does droop still. So until I get some more support in there. But yeah, the 66 has a steel bed floor now, and it's kind of securely not really in place. So like I mentioned before, just need to go through and weld everything up and start tackling these sides. But man, I'm happy already. All right, guys, making some progress on this bed floor, and I'm happy with it so far. You saw I got this side trimmed and tacked in. Yeah, you can kind of see it. I'm gonna go back through and weld it more. Same with the front up here, that is tacked in. I actually got this side tacked in up to about here. Yeah, right there. This side here is tacked in a couple spots. It can be finished up, but I wanted to get to this side because I wanted to start getting wheel tubs in it and see how those are going. Those actually trimmed in pretty nice to kind of notch into this ledge here. Obviously, I'm gonna have to do a filler panel here. Filler panel, there we go. English language is what I'm trying to use here. But I do need to figure out the fuel neck. You can see it sitting down in here. I do want to get it to come kind of up back here. And I saw, had a suggestion from somebody, and I also saw on, I believe it was River City. You tilt the lens out and put the gas cap right behind the lens. So that is my goal for the gas cap, because I don't want it sticking out the side of the truck. I don't want to cut into the side of the truck. I'm trying to, you know, preserve the look of the truck as much as possible. So I have to draw out that, but I'll probably just leave that open for now, because then I won't be able to put fuel on it. Gotta make sure I leave that open. So that wheel tub's tacked in. So now what's left is finish welding everything. I need to kind of mess with the corners up here, corner up here, get this wheel tub in and finish tacking everything, but you can kind of get an idea of what it's all gonna look like. And what actually worked out perfect is when I originally built the truck, I'd widen these wheel tubs like 4 inches, I think. You can see this piece of metal that's in right here. Actually, it works out perfect. I didn't have to trim it back down at all. I left it the width it was. It comes to, you know, right here on the bed, covers up the shocks. I got, you know, plenty of room in between. So it's coming along great. I'm really happy with it. All right, guys. Well, I think that's gonna wrap this episode. Like I said, I got all this welding to do, but I'm not gonna bore you guys with that. I'm just gonna repeat the same thing on the other side with wheel tub. So nothing too exciting there. You guys can kind of see what's going on with the bed floor. Also, you saw in the last video, I got the stainless steel exhaust. I'm still waiting on some parts. I did get the mufflers in. Mufflers, quote unquote. Mufflers. There's some baffling inside. They are Total Flow. They're stainless steel. These are actually US made, which is pretty cool. Also got 2 of these clamps. They're stainless as well. And I'm pretty sure they're not US made. They're pretty chintzy. I was gonna start on the exhaust, and then I got to looking around on Amazon again. And we're gonna go stainless exhaust. Maybe we should do the headers too. So I've been looking at, I found a really cheap set of Mustang headers that I'm thinking about ordering. I know they're not gonna fit the truck or the Crown Vic, but headers that fit a Crown Vic are super expensive. And you know me, I don't like super expensive. So I might order those headers. I gotta figure out some stuff with the flanges and what's needed. I'm waiting on some responses back from the seller, but looking at those. So as soon as the bed floor is done, I think I'm gonna try and tackle the exhaust next. If you didn't see the last video, I'll link that down below that highlights the exhaust system. Also, I'll put a link to the exhaust system below, a link to these mufflers below. These were like 20 something bucks for the pair. And I'll also put a link to these. So, yeah, guys, until next time, drop any questions or comments you have down below, and I'll be sure to answer those. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I'd appreciate it if you guys are subscribed. Make sure you hit that notification bell. That way you know when a new video comes out. I think we're up over like 1,440 subscribers, which is pretty cool. It's like 100 gains since, not the last video, but 2 videos ago. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited to see the channel grow. And I'm really hoping to hit 2,000 subs by the end of the year. We just missed my goal of 1,000 last year. We're a little over halfway through the year. Actually, August starts 2 days from now. So, but I think it's still possible. We're only like 560 subscribers short. So guys, share the videos with anybody that you may think enjoys them. Yeah, as always guys, I appreciate you watching, and get out in your garage, work on your projects. Until next time, take it easy.